I hope everybody's feeling well and had enough self-care today, or however the hell you handle your business to feel good about yourself and get things done productively. Y'all know what it is. It's Uncle Tux. Welcome to My Peoples, where we open the platform for people to share their stories and really just express themselves. Me basically understanding how therapeutic it is with our network, being on shows and stuff. I thought everybody deserved a chance to have these types of opportunities, to feel as good as I feel once the cameras go off and we finish talking. Today we have not only a themed conversation, but we have a few different guests here that we're going to put in rotation to discuss with you guys. So welcome, sit back and enjoy yourself. Get something to drink, chill out, let's have a good conversation, get ready for work if you're going to your night shift, all of that type of stuff. If you're getting off of work, welcome home. All right. Check it out. Let's do some introductions. First, let's begin with who we have here today. We have the couple representatives, fair to say, from Israelites United in Christ, correct? In the IUIC, correct?
Sir, it's called Israel United in Christ.
Israel United in Christ. And we have Officer Adon.
Yes, sir.
Brother Elijah.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Soldier.
Representing there. Soldier Elijah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we also have from the, a representative from the DAVARIE ARMSTRONG Foundation too as well, Sister CJ.
Oh.
Fair, let's welcome community, let's welcome our guest. Welcome. So there's a lot to talk about, a lot of things that we're going to end up unpacking. Unfortunately, and if we'll be talking about youth violence as well, and how that impacts our community and our cities and things that we're going to do or to look forward to try to help reform, or at least put our impact in trying to, stifle some of which is a hard thing to do. I mean, I'm sure in your community and all communities. But we're going to try to shed some light on that as well. And if you're familiar with My People, there is a segment that, I try to catch up. So just to inform everybody here, what the process is, what I do is, I realized a little while back that there are a lot of things that were taking my attention, right? So I was like, geez, what are some things that I could at least subtract out of my life, right? That, would give me a little bit more time and focus within. And I realized screen time, right? Being on your phone, social media, stuff like that. I'm like, geez, I never thought I'd be impacted as how much I talk bad about it, but I realized, wait a minute, I'm on this phone a lot. I'll go to the phone to check an email or something. Next thing you know, I am scrolling, right? I don't know how I got here, right? But I'm here, right? And I don't look up until like an hour later, right? Which is ridiculous, right? So I started refraining from doing some discipline in that regard.
Okay.
And when I had the urge to actually go on social media or actually post, like say I wanted to express my feelings about a topic or something, current events or whatever it was, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of posting it, I decided to put it in a little notepad, right? Just to get it off, right? And then I'd see stuff like online, and see like videos and stuff. And then it limited my time. So sometimes I'll go on Facebook, and in order to limit my time, I wouldn't watch the video all the way. I'll just click it. Okay, this is something of interest. I'll save it for later when I do have the time. Okay. Right. So what I do on my show is I pull up some of the things that I saved. I don't know the time, why I saved it all the way. And then I show them on the show. So I'd like to at least start with there. I have 3 videos I believe I pulled to the side from saving. And what we'll do is we'll watch the videos real quick. They're really quick. And just conversate about them first.
Gotcha.
Fair?
Yes, sir.
What we got first, bro? Because I have no clue what we're looking at. And it will be here in just a moment. What's that, 8-2? Mm-hmm.
It's 3 times what yours is.
And if so...
White people are rotten, and black people are just like them. Because you've made them just exactly like you. They walk like you, they talk like you, everything they do is like you. They want to be you so much. They love your woman more than you do. They know your mind better than you. They wear your clothes. They even learn to wear your shoes. You take them out of the jungle and you want to make them into a man. Why couldn't they be left to be God? Why you want to make them into a man? In the jungle, they were God. See, over here, everybody thinks them old black people are just dull old colored folks. But they're not dumb old colored folks. They're very smart. They're very aware. And their capacity for fear is 3 times what yours is. White people are rotten. And black people are just like them. Because you've made them just exactly like you. They walk like you, they talk like you, everything they do is like you. They want to be you so much. They love your woman more than you do. They know your mind better than you. They wear your clothes. They even learn to wear your shoes. You take them out of the jungle and you want to make them into a man. Why couldn't they be left to be God? Why you want to make them into a man? In the jungle, they were God. See, over here, everybody thinks them old black people are just dull old colored folks. But they're not dumb old colored folks. They're very smart. They're very aware. And their capacity for fear is 3 times what yours is. White people are rotten. And black people are just like them. Because you've made them just exactly like you.
Well,
They
first
walk
off,
like you, they talk like you, everything they do is like you. They want to be you so
I
much.
really wasn't able to make out everything he was saying. I was able to see, I caught a couple pieces that he said, and I don't want to just take it all out of context, but I did hear, why would you want to take them out of the jungle, turn them into a man when they're gods? Right? I believe that was a statement there. Can we run that again, please, Damo, if you don't mind? Just so we can at least hear it, and or if you can read off some of the things, then that might even be easier too. But based upon that, let's just take Charles Manson, considered, let's say, or has been put into the public as a psychopath, so to speak. Is that fair to say, I guess, based upon the media or how you're taught about who Charles Manson is here giving insight about the power of a black man. He looks like he's using his opportunity to speak to the media, to share his insight on how the mistreatment of black people stems from thinking that they're a man and not God. That's kind of what I got off of the video. What'd you get off of that, Damo? Am I reading that right? Pretty much. How do you guys feel about that? Just curious to know.
Okay. The Bible say we are gods. You know, and if I can get that scripture real quick, because I want to prove it. Book of Psalms, chapter 82. Read that.
Psalms chapter 82 and verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
We are the children of the Most High. All right, we are the sons of God. Read, keep reading.
Verse 7. But ye shall die like men.
We shall die like men. Why? Because we broke the commandments of God. In the beginning, we lived 1,000 years. We lived long lives. All right, the Most High cut that down in Genesis to 120 years. All right, so we are gods. All right, so in that context that he's speaking, as the so-called black man in America today, the Israelites, we are gods according to the Bible.
How do you feel about, well, not how do you feel, where do you think his realization of that came about?
You know, a lot of the other nations know the history of our people. It's us that, you know, don't know or we don't care to know our history. Go to Hosea chapter 4. We don't care to know our history because we're here, of course, right? We all know how we got here, which was on slave ships. We was conquered, colonized, enslaved. Okay, during that time period, they didn't allow us to read. All right? We were indoctrinated by what they fed us. Okay, which leads up to this day to this. Read that.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse
Louder.
6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
So we are now destroyed because now we're walking around, we think we're African American. What's the culture of African American, if I must say? What's the culture of an African American?
I always attach it to hip hop culture.
The
Right?
hip-hop.
I believe that's the first culture that we attached to and adorned and adopted as a core.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
Okay. If you notice, since you said hip hop, a lot of the rappers our people are influenced by a lot of the entertainers. You may see what's some notable entertainers. What's Sexy Red?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the stuff that they sing in their songs, our people go out and do. That's the knowledge that our people have. The average rapper, like a male rapper, I mean, Lil Wayne, he'll have his pants way to his knees, and then you'll see the majority of our people go and do. What's the other rapper that sings? What's that guy that was had a controversial video about Jesus Christ recently?
Lil Nas X.
Yes, our people follow after that. So with that being said, we have lowered ourselves. Now we're on a lower state. We don't even think of ourselves as no more than animals because of the way we conduct ourselves. All right? So read that again.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
The Lord say his people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Is there more?
Yep. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
So the Lord is rejecting us. So all this stuff, all these atrocities that's happening to our people, the Lord is rejecting us. All right? He wants us to call on him to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments, that position, that God that we are.
Let's see what the next video is that we have.
All right.
See what we're looking at here. Please stress your opinions too. I see that there are comments too are also lit up a little bit. Dama, when you get a chance, just go ahead and if you could retort some of those. Oh, actually, I could see them also right there for my notes, so I can take a look. Let's see what this video is. What's up next? I don't remember yet. Oh, okay, I see. So, this video here, I remember saving. Now I remember. So, the reason I saved this, it's like a montage to Charles Barkley. And it was really just to show, like, I don't think the kids knew how dominant and how good of a player Charles Barkley really was. So I saved this video to just as a reminder, I guess. Actually, I could show maybe a youth in my class that Charles Barkley didn't. The Charles Barkley persona did not just start on TV or being a TV analyst. Any favorite sports players or anybody basketball players growing up?
Growing up, I was more into boxing, Mike Tyson.
Okay.
You know, I did like football as well back in the day. You know,
Let's stick there. You started with Tyson, like that was the man. Who's top three? Come on, Officer Don. Give me top three boxers, pound for pound. No weight class.
I only can speak for back in the day.
Okay.
All right. And those three back in the day was Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Evander Holyfield.
Okay.
And Riddick Bowe.
Love Riddick Bowe. I think Riddick Bowe was very, very underrated and doesn't get the acclaim he definitely deserves.
Yeah.
A lot of people say Mike Tyson didn't fight anybody. It ain't me. I'm just saying.
In that time period, I was very young, and I was just, to me, he fought people.
Yeah. No, that's listen, don't mind the grades. That's my era too. Is Mike Tyson.
Yeah. So,
And it hurt my heart when he lost.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Okay. Let's go right to the next one. Let's go to the next video. Speed right through. Okay, bet. I'll take a look at them now. You can run it while that's running out. I'll take a look.
Big Money said that's a powerful statement by Charles Manson. Charles FM says, what's up? Big Money said Psalms 82. Sadidi J says, do you think there's a certain way to approach this generation about God and his laws?
Before we get to the video, let's address those questions. Let's address that one right there from Sadidi J. Do you think there is a certain way? I wasn't able to retort it again.
Do you think there is a certain way to approach this generation about God and his laws?
CJ, start there.
Social media, most likely. Everyone gravitates, like my generation especially gravitates towards social media, becoming an influencer, and just, you know, following what somebody else does. So if they see somebody else do it, then they're going to do it, or try to be that person, or try to perfect the way that the other person does it. So social media probably.
Funnel the information through social media to make an impact based upon where we're at today. Right, taking that information. Officer Don, how do you feel about that? How do you answer that question?
That question was any way to address our people.
Could you
question
just so
again?
it's specific again, please? I'm sorry.
Do you think there's a certain way to approach this generation about God's laws?
So basically,
God and his
what's the
laws?
best way that you believe to approach this generation about God and the laws that they should follow?
Yeah. So the Bible does state that our people are very stiff-necked people, very stubborn people, a very prideful people. The way to address them, you know, is to make them aware of the condition that we're in. You know, since slavery, from slavery, they had Jim Crow laws. From Jim Crow laws, what was after that? We had the in the 60s we had civil rights movement. You know, from civil rights movement, I mean, the condition that our people are in today hasn't changed. And what we try to get our people to see is that, if I can get scripture, Isaiah 1 and 3. Here's what we try to get them to see. And social media, yes, that's a great platform, you know, because we do have godly men on social media. You can look at the videos. You can see men from IUIC marching in the thousands. You know, we the one that was at the Barclays Center. You know, so things like that could be of a great impact or influence of our people when they see godly men doing godly things. All right, read that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
So this is what the Lord says about our people. The ox is a what? An animal, right? All right. But that ox knows his owner. If he get lost or if he's somewhere else, he knows who his owner is. So meaning he know how to get back home. Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
So it's the donkey, right? He know his master's crib. The same thing. But what?
But Israel,
which is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, read.
doth not know.
We don't know. We don't know who we are. All right, read.
My people doth not consider.
We don't even consider who we are. So we try to punch that in them. We try to, you know, bring out the Bible, because the Bible is the only solution to our problem. All right, so we can show them who we are through the Bible, because the Bible is a history book. A lot of people get it twisted thinking that it's a religious book, but it's actually a history book. It tells us who we are, how we got here, and where we're going if we come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of God. So that's good. Social media, we use the social media platform to do that. That is a good way to wake up our people by us men and women being the influence that our people need to see.
I agree. I think social media, good point on that too as well, and great observation on that. I think it works hand in hand. Unfortunately, though, the disparity is that, you know, as this is what I also believe too. You know, as humans, right? Human behavior is you turn into what you tune into. It's basically kind of where it is. We're in a society where they tune into their social media continuously. The hours, I think, average, it's ridiculous, between like 9 and 14 hours between just youth actually directly just on their phone screen time. It's a hell of a lot when you only have 24, and you might want to try to sleep during that time period too, right? So the continuum and the consistency of information that they're being fed also has an impact. Just like any human being, the consistency of information or consistency of stuff that you're tuning into, you know, has a direct impact of who you are and who you represent or how you represent yourself. And I think it's an uphill battle, which, you know, I commend anybody who's willing to take on that battle, though, because that's a huge a machine right there in social media that's already consuming our youth at half the day of forcing them of information, right? So social media is the catalyst on where you would want to attack or at least be able to circumvent that information to the youth. What's the next video we got here? The people can see it, don't hear it.
See, gangsters win the Koreans. Gangsters win the Arabs. Come into our hood, come into our neighborhood, come on our block, come on our street, come on our corner, and set up corner stores on our corner. But then suck the economic power out of the hood, and they don't even live in the hood. Nothing back to the hood, and they leave the hood to suffer. That's gangster. No, that's wickedly gangster. But let a brother open up a store. Bro can't get no support at all. Chips could be 99 cents. You know us. Hey bro, can I get two for $1? Come on, bro. I thought you was my man today. I mean, that's what we do. That's what gangsters do. Brothers and sisters, I just want to inform you that's not gangster. That's not gangster at all. But I'm going to show you gangster. See, gangsters win the Koreans. Gangsters win the Arabs. Come into our hood, come into our neighborhood, come on our block, come on our street, come on our corner, and set up corner stores on our corner. But then suck the economic power out of the hood, and they don't even live in the hood. Nothing back to the hood, and they leave the hood to suffer. That's gangster. No, that's wickedly gangster. But let a brother open up a store. Bro can't get no support at all. Chips could be 99 cents. You know us. Hey bro, can I get two for $1? Come on, bro. I thought you was my man today.
All right. Gangster.
Right.
Soldier Elijah, could we start with you at least, if I may, on how do you feel about that video? What's your insight on that video?
Shoot.
Well, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Officer Don.
Yeah, that's true. You know, not just the Arabs, all other nations benefit from our destruction. You know, who's the main consumer in America? Who is the main consumer in America? Yeah, we are. You know, we spend what? Statistics shows what trillions of dollars a year,
trillions.
but it goes back into the other nations' community, so it don't even go into our community. I mean, it's very horrible. We'll buy what? How much is a pair of Yeezys, or Jordans, or stuff that we don't need? You know, we buy wigs, we buy a whole bunch of stuff. So that is so true, but you know, it's unfortunate, but it's scripture that's happening to us. If I can get a scripture, read that in Psalms 82. So you have to understand something. Read that verse. What you got?
Verse 3.
3. Read verse 3. Let me show you something real quick.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
So this is talking about all the other nations, actually. They have taken crafty counsel against our people. All right, read.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
We're the hidden ones. We're hidden from who we are. You know, we don't know that we're Israelites. All right, we think we walk around here thinking we're African American. We thinking we mixed. We thinking if you ask the average so-called black person, they would probably get their nationality. They'll probably give you 3, 4 to 5. They give you mixed, colored, this, I'm this. All right, read that.
Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
So the other nations gathered together and they conspired against us and said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. You know, you got to understand something. It don't matter what country you go to, we are there. All right? We're in Saudi Arabia. We're in Europe. We're everywhere. But we're in the same position that we're here, that we're in America. We are in that same position in other countries. Read that.
That the name of Israel,
The name of what?
Israel,
Israel, us. All right?
may be no more in remembrance.
May be no more in a remembrance. Now you got the so-called white man, which is known as biblically Amalek, claiming to be us, taking our heritage. Read that.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
With one consent, it's going to tell you who these people are. Read.
They are confederates against thee.
They are all confederate against us. They got us hating each other. They got us saying this white man on the picture is God. They got us saying this rock over here is our God. They got us saying this fat Buddha man is our God. They got us killing each other. It's systematically done. All right, read that.
Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom.
Who is number one? Edom. Edom is the so-called white man today. These are the real biblical names. If you can understand, they changed our biblical names to made-up names today. All right? They changed the continents to names that, like, you may go to Yemen. It wasn't originally called Yemen. You may go to Africa. It wasn't originally called Africa. They changed everything, okay? Because we were ruling. Our forefathers is Jesus Christ, King David. All those people are our forefathers that we don't know of. They said what? Read that again.
The tabernacles of Edom.
So the so-called white man today, read.
And the Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites is the Arab man today. They all conspired against us. That's why they're ruling. Read.
Of Moab.
Moab, which is the Chinese man today. Read.
And the Hagarenes.
The Hagarenes. Read. Africans. Read.
Gibah.
Keep reading.
And Ammon.
And Ammon, the Japanese. All right. I just want to go over that scripture and show you that all the nations conspired against the Israelites. And that's the reason that we are in the position that we're in today. And we are serving our enemies. All right.
On the reverse into that he was talking about,
Okay.
and I'll start with you, Miss CJ, is he was talking about, but when black folks open the store, right, we're asking for 2-for-1s. We don't want to pay for the 99-cent chips. Are you aware of that type of behavior? And why do you believe that is? And then
honestly,
I'll come to you.
I feel like, to be honest, people only support when, or feel like they need to do something when it's popping or it has more recognition from, like, other people instead of their own community and stuff like that. Makes sense.
So, like, if it's popularized, say in Japan, that's when our community, the black community, be like, okay, now that's something to support.
Or if they see more people doing it,
That's
like
it.
on social media, they see somebody doing it, or if they see, they're gonna start doing it more. But if they see their friend do it first, they might try to, like, hate on it, knock it off until it gets a little bit popping, and then you're gonna see them do it again. Just because it's popping, they're gonna do it.
My question to you, Officer, would be: where do you think this mentality is rooted from? Where do you think the idea, but actually the idea and the action for it to be almost where people can say this is something that black people do?
Okay, because as we stated earlier, we're led by the media, social media. What's the culture of our people? You know, it's like you said, rap music, entertainers. You know, so what's ever popular, whether it's, even if you had a sister in a rap song talking about.
Well, let me say,
we follow it.
Here's the difference I think that he was talking about also was, like, you could have let's say Korean store with chips for 99 cents, right? And then right next door you could have a black owned spot with chips for 89 cents, or let's just say 99 to keep it just 99 and 99, right? Where is that? I understand the disconnection, but why is it so resonated that we would spend the 99 cents here like it's a good deal, and then try to barter the 99 cents in a black person's store?
Because first of all, we hadn't learned to love ourselves. We hate ourselves. I mean, and we just show that in our everyday lives. All right, you know, we hate ourselves. So if you hate yourself, you're gonna hate your brother. I mean, it's so many instances where you can see we hate ourselves. You got, you got the brat. You know, you got she's an entertainer, but you got people, you know, who would think that having, you know, a baby by another race of people makes their baby pretty. So that says you hate your own self. We seen videos where you ask a sister or a brother, and they show them a doll, a baby doll or something like that, a black baby doll and a white baby doll, and they say which one is pretty. They'll point to the white doll. So it's that hate among ourselves, and it starts within the household of us. It starts with us, first of all, and then we can teach our kids not to hate each other. All right? And the only solution to that is the Bible.
One thing that's huge that I always see too, I go to a lot of these, not a lot, but I've been in a lot of community events, community cohorts and collectives, and blah 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 blah, right? But it's always a disconnection. It's always the conversation is always very adamant and very awesome when we're talking about the problem. Everybody can talk about the problem, right? And then when one person brings up a solution, everybody brings up the problem with that solution, why that solution wouldn't work, right? And then more people talk about the problem. But I think, and the trust factor, the lack of us trusting each other as a community and as one, I think goes right to what you're talking about. In a sense, the lack of love. I think we haven't learned how to love each other at all and love on each other as a community or as a culture or whatnot. And then after that, maybe we could trust. We can collab, we can build, and so on and so forth once we learn how to trust and love each other or establish.
And get through, like, the competition with each other. We don't succeed because black people want to be in competition with each other instead of showing love and helping with each other, because they believe that just because you do it, they can do it. And if you're getting more support than them, then they feel like that you're not supposed to do it. You just can't do it because you look like them or something like that.
Can we talk about that, Officer Don? Where do you believe that correlates to, at least in history, or just how we are and our makeup, that we feel like we have to compete with each other?
Well, not our history is we were gods and kings. We ruled. You got to understand something. Before the Renaissance, I don't know if y'all are aware of the Renaissance, when so-called white men started conquering all dark nations. Dark people were ruling. We were ruling. All right? It's that slave mentality. A lot of us, that Stockholm syndrome. We was in slavery for years. We're over 500 years, you know, and we hate each other. You know, we just don't see each other. We won't even accept a leader. That's sickening when you won't accept a leader. Everybody want to be popular, known, but nobody wants to fall under a leader. I never seen that amongst any other nation. Every nation falls upon a leader. That's how you become a nation. You know, everybody needs that guidance, you know. So we just a people, we still have that slave mind, you know, that Willie Lynch mind. I don't know if anybody's aware of the Willie Lynch letter, but that Willie Lynch letter still exists in the minds of our people. All right, so we that's one thing we got to get rid of, you know. So it's a lot. We got to overcome all these things, and the only way to do that is through the Bible, because the Bible is our culture, is our heritage, is our law. I mean, we got to understand what's wrong with following the law. You follow the law every day. There's no such thing as you can't follow under something. You work even at Walmart, gas station, you got to stop at the red light. If you don't, it's the consequences. It's just, we won't follow under our own people.
It's true. Which is true. Hope you guys are listening out there, taking notes, honestly. So check it. We're here today. We're actually, our focal point is today is youth violence. And we, you know, as a community here in Colorado, we are, believe it or not, we don't just ski. You know, we have a community that is impacted by youth violence very heavily. And organizations like, you know, for community organizations, whether it's the DAVARIE Armstrong Foundation or the IUIC, you know, that's one thing that we at least completely share is we want to stop this violence. We want to give the opportunities for these youth to grow and learn and be prosperous too as well. With that being said, let's talk about youth violence. Let's talk about youth violence in our community. CJ, I'll probably start with you. It's tough, right?
Yeah.
It's tough. Let's start here. I heard you were close to, or you in your network of people, you've lost 12 of your peers.
Yes.
Over what time span is that?
2020 to this year, actually. It's just back and forth, back to back, back to back, back to back. Hasn't stopped. Not once.
I want to get too specific on like the individual cases. However, I will like to ask you, like, and I'll go down to also is let's start at the root. Let's figure out and try to sift what would you believe are root causes of this influx of violence amongst you?
People are just trying to prove themselves. To just be so-called hard, so-called just that person around or somebody just to be scared of. And never. That's it. Everyone just wants to prove themselves, or it's just either over jealousy. They either don't like somebody else shining, or they're jealous of that other person and they want to dim their light, or they want to prove themselves and be hard or that person around.
Do you ever worry about your life when you leave the home?
All the time. Especially out here. Denver, it's not safe. Every party you go to, it ends early because somebody's shooting. Literally. Any party you go to out here, you can't have fun. I don't even go out no more. It's just, you can't have fun.
Sorry to hear that too as well, because that sucks. 'Cause outside is fun for kids, at least when I grew up. At least you had to have a bike. But Officer Don, what do you believe are root causes to this influx of youth violence?
Well, I know it sounds repetitive, but it is hate. we definitely hate ourselves. And you was talking to the sister, does she fear? We all fear. I fear every time the police pull me over. You know, I don't know if it's gonna go beyond a ticket. You know, a lot of our brothers and sisters have lost their lives for just having, you know, a brake light out. You know, so, but one of the reasons is, hey, if I can get it straight, give me Exodus 23:2, because our people just follow the majority, you know, and the majority of our people is just out there. You know, you can have something good on social media pop up, and you can have something bad, but well, guess what our people gonna click on? You know what I mean? It's so bad now where you got little girls twerking and stuff like that, and their mothers are there watching them, and they'll record them doing it. I mean, read that.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
The Bible says we shall not follow a multitude to do evil. That's what we're doing. You know, whether it's out in the streets, you know, gangs, whether it's social media posts, whether it's social media watching, you know, whether it's in our own household. The Lord said, read it again.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
And that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? So we have to come out of that. I mean, as long as we're in that state of mind of hating ourselves and following people that does evil, we'll continue in that cycle. We have to come out of it.
My belief well, let me ask this question before I even say my belief. But how do you believe that any or as an organization, let's just say, because you represent an organization, or
Organized nation.
an organized nation,
Yeah, because we are a nation of people.
so
Organized nation of people.
how do you address, or how would you suggest addressing at a systematic level of actually kind of stopping the violence or ceasing some of youth violence?
It's a good question. Go to Baruch 4:1. So to address that, like I said earlier, we have a culture. It's not entertainment. It's not fighting each other, killing each other, being covetousness, taking somebody's girlfriend, or in the world's language, girlfriend or whatever. As a matter of fact, we shouldn't even have girlfriend and boyfriend. We should get married. A lot of our people let their sons and daughters have girlfriend and boyfriend at young ages. And what's the result of that? I mean, by the time they get older, they've been through many men or many women. You know what I mean? So we have to come back to our culture. All right? Read that.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever.
Because this law endureth forever. This book has been around since the beginning. This is our book, actually. This is the black man, Hispanic man, and so-called Native American man book, which are the Israelites. This is our book. They just took it and twisted the words. When you read the book, it's clear it's our book. Let's read. Keep going.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
So, all they that keep the commandments, come back to our culture, shall do what?
Come to life.
We're going to come back to life. All right? Read.
But such as leave it shall die.
So that's what's happening to us. We lost our way of life. Now we have the way of what they gave us. Only thing they gave us is death. It's been death since slavery. This is the way of life.
True indeed. One thing I do believe, like, let's take Officer Don. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Mississippi.
Mississippi. Dama, where was you at like 10 years old? What city?
Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado. I was in Boston, Massachusetts at that time. Right? Now, here's what I believe is a huge, I think, is a factor in where youth violence influx. You know, when you were in Mississippi, he was in Denver, I was in Boston. We all could watch The Cosby Show or Family Matters or whatever the hell the show is, G.I. Joe, right? Whatever it is, right? There was a shared understanding on like coping mechanisms that were shared within a lot of these stories, that somebody from Denver could see the same thing I would see on how to deal with a bully, how to deal with a broken heart, how to deal with death in the family. We all shared these certain coping mechanisms based upon what we were watching and what was programming us at that time, right? Because we turned into what we tuned into. We turned into what we tuned into.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that was a shared thing that we did, is because we knew when our emotions or our heart was broke or we felt the love a little bit, there was an example on what that feels like. Oh my God, I like this girl, or this person broke my heart. There was an example, at least on TV, that was programming us on how to deal with it, right? Or circumvent these feelings or have some type of coping mechanism. This generation here is is the only generation I know is raised directly off social media. Okay? They don't have that. They have open access to all the information, whether it's right or wrong, right? And I think that one thing that they do share that is consistent, again, is that mess of information all over the place, right? And then also, if there is a place that they do sit down and go to, it might be on Call of Duty or Modern Warfare, whatever it is, right? Games that all show that, okay, you do know how to shoot a gun, though.
Yeah.
You do know that a gun is now synonymous with life based upon how many hours you spend on your actual game. So more than you're giving a book to actually read, you're showing how to use a gun, right? And utilize that to handle your situation. So I think a lot of that, in my belief, based upon just general human behavior. Again, what I reference to is what you tune into what you turn into for the most part. The consistency of that information and those behaviors being taught kind of trickles down to the kids. Miss CJ, real quick, because we're going to take a quick break. Miss CJ, I do have a question for you. Because I deal with a lot of youth, and there's a huge, and I deal with a lot of adults too. A lot of adults swear they know everything about youth. They swear they know all their issues, how to solve all their problems. And that's, I believe, based upon talking to youth directly and talking to actually adults, there's a huge disconnection. Like the adults say, this is the issue, right? And then the youth would be like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, y'all keep thinking that, but this is really the issue. I guess the question would be like, how can adults be more supportive to the youth these days?
Honestly, if it depends, because like most of the youth, if they want to listen, then they can, get the help they need, or get like what you guys want to tell us. But it's mostly just listening and just listen to someone wiser, because most of us, we all got in our mindset that we could do it ourselves, and that we're just on the path that we're grown enough, we got it. But we need like the extra help or like the extra influence. And then like the influences that we got is people who never, like, who's not doing nothing, who's not somebody, and they're literally our age, and we watching these influencers our age going through different life stuff that we would never go through. So it's just really just us willing to listen and accept the help, and not getting the help we need.
And what is CJ gonna do to make sure we live in a better world?
Keep DAVARIE's name alive. Keep that legacy going. Helping stop the violence, gun violence. Love everyone. Be there for all my peers. Support everyone. And that's all I can do. There's nothing more.
Keeping DAVARIE's name alive. And when we come back from this break, we'll dive into that also a little bit more. Tune in. We'll be right back. Take a quick break.
Like a fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
It ain't that. That's no such thing. Ain't nobody knuckling up. It's all about guns. Even when we talk beyond mash. Woo! Strike. And three. And three. And three. Oh, and four.
So you and ET, y'all cool then?
Yeah,
y'all straight.
We see, that's the thing. We were cool. Like, we were on the airport with each other before we came back home. But
Like,
then when I had to watch this shit on TV, I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? So I don't know what it is, but with her, it's just like, because I just know what I can do to people. You, as a fighter, like, you can read people. You can see, like, okay, this person probably gonna knock me out or hit me. You just know how to read shit. And with her, it was just like, dang, I'd rather be cool with her than traumatize her. Right. You know?
Welcome back, my people. My people, again, introduce you to some more of my people. We have switched up, as I told you in the beginning, just a guest here. Let's welcome to my people, Miss Angel Shabazz with the DAVARIE ARMSTRONG Foundation.
Thank you for having me in our space.
Yes, please shed some light on let's just start just with who you are.
Who am I? So, Angel Shabazz, Denver native.
Let me stop yourself. Let me stop. You know, those always be like kind of generic. Right?
Okay.
Give me 3 words that describe Miss Angel Shabazz.
It's cliche because that's what I do, but it definitely does describe me, and it would be strong, smart, and bold.
Oh, you said that like strong, smart, and bold. Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Where's that come from?
It originally comes from the organization that I work with as my profession, and it's to show how, as just a woman, but for me as a Black woman, how I show up to be strong, smart, and bold in all aspects of my life. And just with the cards that I've been dealt with, how strong I am, how smart I am, and how bold I am to step out and do different things in society.
Kudos to you on that too as well. It's a hell of a society, and you've got to be bold and strong in order to survive out here for sure. So we on a, I don't want to say serious nature, but at least to give some context to why you're here, right? And the context is we are here talking about youth violence. We are talking about youth violence prevention. We're talking about just why and what to do next. Your connection with youth violence is a little bit more personal, in a sense, on your story. If you don't mind sharing, that story to not only myself but also to the rest of the world.
Yeah. So my connection to youth violence is my son DAVARIE Jalon Armstrong, who was killed July 11th, 2020 at a house party. And he wasn't just at the wrong place or wrong time, or he wasn't hit with a stray bullet. My son was gunned down in front of a lot of his peers. And since then, it has made me be connected to just all youth, but just the violence in our community, because my son was a good boy. He was an athlete. He definitely presented himself as a child of God. He was a scholar. He was a servant in the community, and he didn't deserve that. So because of that, and how all the kids gravitated to me after his passing, made me feel like I had to show up in a different space. And if youth violence was where I was going to show up at, then I was going to come in, and I was going to come in strong to try to make a difference.
My condolences too as well.
Thank you.
He's made a huge impact. Being such a shining light in the community, he has pushed the movement forward. And exalted it, so to speak, on really putting a real there has to be something done,
for sure.
Right? Now, some parents would just deal with that and kind of isolate themselves. When you said by other youth empowered, what else? What drives you to say, you know what, I'm gonna make sure no other parents, and if they do, here's the resources for them. What empowered you to?
The real reason, and anybody can say different, but the real reason is because the boy that my son was, he didn't deserve that. Made me feel like if this could happen to him, it can happen to anybody's baby. And because of that, I need to be around to help another mom not go through this. But in that same stance, I've seen many moms since then go through that, to the point where when DAVARIE passed, there was 4 other moms that I had went to middle school and high school with that lost their child that same week. So, within a 72-hour span. So because of that, I thought nobody in this world is going to understand what I go through. Everybody is showing all this love, but when everybody goes away and it's just me and my thoughts, who wasn't going to understand that but another mom. So because of that, I created a Mother's Love Foundation or nonprofit grieving group so that other moms could come together who was having the same experience. So it literally started with 5 of us that lost our kid that same week to now I have 26 moms that are going through the same thing that I'm going through that's in my group. And I hate to say it, majority of my moms is through gun violence.
I will say, well, kudos to you, to be honest with you, for providing that safe and brave space for others too as well.
Thank you.
My question to you with that would be, because you guys, let's say 26 moms coming from different backgrounds, different growing situations, their youth were in different situations too as well. What, is there a connecting fact? Is there something that you're like, maybe this is the issue, or that you guys all share? Is there something that is a shared that could be like, okay, this might be the pinpoint on why this is happening?
Access to guns. The main thing I could think of, and having access to guns at a young age. That is like the main thing that is common, is whoever, other moms who's also in my shoes, and their child was murdered, is from another child who shouldn't have had a gun, especially because of age, but the type of gun that they had. And that is, seems like the connection. And then for my other moms and how we connect on a different level will be my moms who have lost a child through accidental overdose. And the access that they have to those drugs as youth. So it's different pockets of connections, but the one connection is a child that we bear that's no longer here.
You know, research says that youth in Colorado, 1 out of 4 youth have access to a gun like that.
Absolutely.
It was like 14 minutes or seconds, I don't want to be, but it was something like that. Yeah, it's ridiculous, to be honest with you. The access to youth to guns. I did a study with social media, you know, how they can just put MOM, which is metal on the market, right? And you put the MOM acronym, and then that lets people know there's a gun store, right? Those types of things. So the communication that they have just within, you know, it's a different language on social media that we don't all speak. It's a whole nother world that they go into, you know, for hours and hours and hours of day, you know, during their day, that we don't even go into as adults and share that language or share that knowledge. They have all types of stuff. Wear green, and you'll know who has this type of drug. Do this, you know, those types of things. So there's different codes and things of that nature. As brothers, right, in the IUIC, how do you support or step in to support mothers who have lost their youth, if that is something that you guys do?
Yeah, we do. We have a school, actually. So, you know, we have a school where we teach, you know, who we are according to the Bible. And that, you know, there we got different programs, you know, so, you know, even if, you know, if they know people, it's a way to keep our people into something, involved into something different. Violence still plague our people, you know, no matter where we are. But we do provide a place, you know, where our people can come, you know, and grow, learn their history, who they are, you know, go out and teach others to do the same.
So you guys came as a collective. There is a collaboration going on here for youth violence, to stand up for youth violence. Could you shed some light on what this union looks like? And before you do so, if you don't mind, could you let also the public know about the DAVARIE Armstrong Foundation and also your foundation too?
Yeah, so the DAVARIE Armstrong Foundation is obviously founded under DAVARIE, but it's so that there could be awareness in youth violence, and so there could be some type of policy change, but it's also there to help our youth in some way. DAVARIE was very loved from the city, and it definitely did take a village to help raise him, and because of that, and all the things that he said he wanted to do, because you couldn't tell him no different. He knew what he had his path on. He knew he was an athlete, but he was also a scholar, so he knew what path he was going to do. And in his eyes, he knew he was coming back to his community to show up. And so because he spoke those words, I had to figure out a way to come up and show up. So every year, I partner up with different organizations. It's been like the Urban League. It's been Family's Dream. It's been Morey Middle School, South High School, and a lot of organizations like Young Life, who has helped me put scholarships in his name. So every year during DAVARIE week, which is June 9th, 10th, or 11th, or the week of his birthday, I do a fundraising that is host of a 7-on-7 flag football tournament and a 3-versus-3 basketball tournament, and then a 5K run. And so all those fundings, I then go give a scholarship to a student. And so my goal every year is to up that funding. So this year, DAVARIE would have been 21. I lost him at 17. Freshly 17. He had just turned 17. So this year, my goal is to raise $21,000, $1,000 for every year he was alive, so that I can give that back to the community. And then with my mom's group, it's just so that there is a safe space for moms to come together, and I help moms as far as funeral services. We help each other at showing up for each other during court. Like, I'm still going to court, and a lot of moms still come to court with me, and vice versa. It's showing up for moms at 3 o'clock in the morning, showing up for moms when they can't go clean up their kids' room. We go and help them do that. And we've had to step in that way. And then also giving resources for them to partner up to get real grievance support. Because where it lacks is that we don't get the same grievance support as moms of color than our counterparts who lose their kids. And so that I partner up with organizations like Adam Purpose, who provide those type of services, so that we can get that help that we need in a safe, non-judgmental space.
How can the community and organizations, say like the IUIC or any other organizations, or just community, or just folks like ourselves, how can we support you in these initiatives as well?
Showing up when we do host stuff, and when I do DAVARIE days, donating, especially because if it's not a grant and it's not certain funds, then it comes straight out of pocket, or it comes up during regular donations from other organizations. But really just showing up and spreading the word, because it's not for nothing.
So you guys have teamed up together, Soldier Elijah, Officer Don, as well as you and Joe Shabazz, to bring together youth violence conflict resolution seminar. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Would you guys like to shed some light, please, on the collaboration and what this event looks like and what support is needed for it?
So first of all, our mission. I just want to go over our mission real quick. The Youth Violence Conflict Resolution Initiative is dedicated to empowering and inspiring today's youth to become catalysts for positive change in their communities. Our mission is to address the critical issues of youth violence and conflict, fostering empathy, communication, and leadership skills that enable young individuals to navigate challenges peacefully. So we want to enable them to navigate those challenges peacefully, because a lot of our people do like to pick up a gun, like you said. That's the first video games and this, So we want to try to resolve those issues. So that's the main thing we're going to be focusing on there. We want to promote that. And our goal is to make a change in the community. That's why we're partnering with community leaders throughout Denver. So we want everybody's voice to be heard, and we want to join together to come up with a meaningful solution to end the violence amongst our youth.
And the date on that is, I see, Saturday, February 3rd. Sorry about that.
It's Saturday, February 3rd. So don't forget, Saturday, February 3rd at Jumbo's Sports Bar and Grill. All right, the address is 6111 West Colfax Avenue. All right, Unit B. All right, Lakewood, Colorado, 80214.
Yamo, can you put that on the big screen, please? The flyer is on the third row. stuff that people see there too also. And how they could support and actually join and, you know, and have a good time. Right. Now, is this one event, or is this going to be multiple events, or is this?
Yeah, we will continue doing these events in our community. Like I said, we do have an outreach program set up. We also do community cleanup. So we go throughout communities and we clean up trash, things of that nature. So we also can work with you and different other organizations on doing that as well. So yeah, it's not the first. We will be continuing this because our people is very important to us.
Why do you believe these initiatives are important?
Because if they're not talked about, then it's just another body, another mom hurting, and then nothing's going to change. But it's important too if the youth do show up. We're doing it for them. And in order for a change to happen, they got to show up to see that we care enough for it to happen. Because if not, a lot of youth, because I hear it all the time, they don't think that we care or we don't understand it because of the age difference or whatever. And so because of that, the cycle continues. Everybody doesn't sit up here or think like CJ and is mature or has that empathy like she does. And because of that, we're missing our kids. We're missing the youth. And it starts at home. So we need that, you know, backup from the parents at home too. So that means you have to drag your kid to these initiatives so they can see the impact. And I hate to say it like that, but they can see a mom like me who is hurting so that they don't affect another household like
that. Excuse me. Two. We'll do it twice, but give me two things that are problematic in our community. Just two things that are problematic in our community that probably aid to youth violence.
First one I could think of is support. And maybe accountability, I would say.
Single family households, you know, because a child needs, you know, their mother and their father. And also accountability. Yes, you know, if a person could be held accountable, you know, for what they do, just growing up, just learning those, you know, attributes of being accountable. You know, how you discipline when something happened, or how you accept this or that. You know, that would make a huge difference in our community.
Two things that you would implement or add to or is needed more. I got the support and the accountability as more, but like, let's say something tangible or something. Is there something that you think is that we need to do or we have to do in order for there to be some type of change?
We need our black men to step up. We need our black fathers to show up for our kids. And I hate to say it, but, and we were talking about it earlier, women show up all the time. We have no choice, but our men don't back us up. And like how I was saying earlier about when they support, they pick and choose what they want to support on. So if we just had, in my opinion, more men to step up, and I say black men, but it's men in general. If we have more men step up, I feel like that would help a lot.
What does step up look like to you?
To me, is showing up in all aspects when it's not just for your own either, but it's means showing up emotionally, mentally, and means giving real advice. It means being that person they could talk to, being a real leader. I mean, you can show up, but if you're not leading and setting that example, then you showing up is for nothing, because maybe you're showing up and they're picking up on the wrong things.
Understood. Before we bring on Brother Jumbo, do you have an answer to that too also? If there's one thing that you believe could be the starting ground to get some real tangible change in our community, what would that be?
Just knowing who we are, you know, who we are, and what's our true culture, you know, how, you know, the way we live, This is not our culture. You know, we're not born to kill each other. We're not born to live, you know, in a world of distress, distrust, violence, hatred. You know, we are godly people. You know, we have to come back to a culture, to a guideline of living, you know, a way of living. You know, once we do that, we will change the way we live. Now that takes, a lot of people don't want to change. That takes true change within that person. So we have to change as a people. We do. You know, we have to change as a people. We have to change. You know, we have to put down the drugs, have to put down the guns, put down the stuff that makes us feel so comfortable and so good, because it's our own destruction.
Y'all know, Uncle Tux always says, once you know who you are, you know who you are not. Okay? We're going to take a quick break. Close up the show too as well. Good? See y'all at the end of this break.
What's good, Sadiddy Committee? It's your girl, Sadiddy J, and y'all are tuning in to Season 8 on our network, the best black media network in the nation. And y'all are also tapping into the first season of the Sadiddy Sin. Make sure to tune into our network live on Facebook and YouTube to get seen with Sadiddy J. Hashtag Sadiddy Committee.
We still together.
Big Mama's back. What's good in the hood? Sheen Show. All of the above, baby. We are coming back for Season 8. Every Monday, 5:30. Y'all know where to catch me. Facebook and YouTube. Y'all know how we do. I got just more than TikToks this season, right? I'm going to put you niggas to work since y'all like to see me working. Y'all are actually going to help me decide what I'm going to cook the following week. I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait to see y'all there. I feel like we've been gone, that I don't even know y'all no more. Miss Sophia don't even know y'all no more. Make sure y'all tap in so we can get reacquainted. I miss y'all. I got a new face, a new look, a new wig. Tap in, baby, every Monday. I can't wait to see y'all there. Facebook, YouTube. Y'all know how we do. Sheen so cool. See you there.
Hey, what's happening, man? It's Rack 6, and right now, you locked into the Mac and N Show on the 8th season of our network. As usual, we got some of the dopest guests coming to sit down and chop game with us. We'll also be continuing our segments like The Streets is Talking, where we'll be digging into some of the hottest topics and current events from around the world. The second is Good Game. We'll be sharing some good game, beneficial information, and you're probably gonna learn something that you didn't know before, so you definitely don't want to miss that one. The third is Video of the Week. We'll be reviewing some videos from some of the up-and-coming artists from around the city, so all the artists, make sure you send them videos in. So make sure you tune in every Wednesday on our network. We'll be streaming on YouTube and Facebook, man, so make sure you Mac in.
I'm back, Season 8. Bet that with Robbie the Rockets on our network. Check me out, man. Tuesdays, Fridays, 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to have it fired up as always. I got your player props. I got your live betting. I even got my pick 7, as you always know. I always got my pick 7. And I got something new this season on Season 8. I got Spin the Wheels. You get a chance to win cash prizes and raffles. Check me out. Tuesdays and Fridays, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Bet that on our network.
Welcome back to my people, my people. I'm talking to more of my peoples. As we stated before, we was gonna bring another guest on. We're gonna close the show here with this topic, is discussing another disparity within our community and another situation that deserves to have some light shed upon it. Is the owner, operator of, or former owner operator, how do we address that, is Brother Jumbo. Let's welcome Brother Jumbo, owner and operator of Jumbo's Bar and Grill. So I've been hearing, how long have you guys been on? About a few years, couple years?
3 years.
3 years, which is sounds about right. Last 3 years I've heard Jumbo, seen it all over the place, right? Jumbo's new sports bar and grill down in Lakewood. For us, supposed to be for us, by us in a sense, right?
Yes, sir.
In the community. Please let us know basically what Jumbo's sports bar and grill is. Okay. The vision of it was, and what happened to that vision and where we're at right now.
Well, the vision was interrupted June 1st by 4 police officers and 2 Board of Health officials.
Just a moment. Can you lock that for us, brother? Yes, thank you.
It was interrupted coming down telling us that we didn't have.
Well, sorry, Jim. Before you go, please let us know. Let's put some light on what the actual vision was. What is Jumbo's to the community? What was your vision for Jumbo's?
Well, it's black owned, black operated. It's one of those places that, we always wanted a place where we can go and feel at home. When you come to my place, you feel at home. I don't make you feel like, you're a stranger, or, when you come there, you see our people hanging on the wall. You might come there and see Mark Bessie hanging on the wall, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and the list goes on. Medgar Evers, you name them, they there. They are our people. Just like when you go to one of those Italian restaurants, they got all 8 people hanging on the wall. So you feel like, hey, I see me somewhere around here,
Right. Well, kudos to you for attempting to cultivate, curating areas such as. So I Googled Jumbo's Bar and Grill. Okay. First thing that does pop up, big, black-owned sports bar in Lakewood, unfairly targeted, fighting to stay open.
Yes, sir.
Also seen another headline, NAACP supporting Lakewood Bar, accusing city officials of racial bias.
Yes, sir.
Can you please shed some light on the incidents you dealt with and where you guys are at now with the process with Jumbo's?
Well, we was formally closed down, interrupted by illegally closed down for 4 months.
What makes it illegal?
Because we had a license.
Okay.
What they did is violated our civil rights, period. They came and said, you operate without a license and we're here to close you down. And they don't do that for civil cases. It's a phone call, letter in the mail, an email, a late fee, not 4 police officers in tactical riot gear, coming talking about we here to close you down. That's vigilante. Legally, you can't do that. And that's what they did to us.
So you're fighting now. You're in the process of an actual litigation. Is that
Yes,
correct?
Sir. Yes, sir.
What is your stance? What are you standing on outside of just saying I had a license? What is your fight back? First of all, what is their fight to keep you closed, and how are you?
We open. All my licenses are good. I have a dine-in. I have a carry-out. I even have a delivery license. That's food and alcohol. All our paperwork is good. And when they seen that, they backed off. But when the guy came, we had a viral video go out, And when the guy came down there to tell us that they was closing us down, they was laughing at me. It was making fun, you know, like it's a game, you know. And I mean, it's just like throughout Texas and Florida, all through the South, when all the blacks had land, they just took it. That's what they was trying to do with my business. They was going to take it.
So you've won?
Yes, sir. We won.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Yeah, we won.
Okay. Congratulations.
We fought in court. We won and stood up against 10 police officers, and all the city council but one.
Now, did they have to give anything in retribution or anything to pay or
nothing?
Nothing.
Nope, nothing. Nothing.
Do they leave you alone now? So to speak, or is there still harassment?
No, as we speak today, I had to video the fire marshal. He came down there today, and like I told him, man, you ain't been down here in 3 years, man. What are you here for? You know, and they wanted to go through the building, and you know, they talking about, you know, you got to do this and you got to do that. I mean, where you been, man? You know, why are you just now showing up? You know, 3 years later, talking about what I got to do, when I been telling you guys to come down here because I wanted my occupancy. I want to know how many people could I fit in my building. They didn't care. But when I made it happen, now it's an issue. You know.
Well, let the people know Jumbo Sports Bar and Grill is fully open and operational, right?
Yes, sir.
Dinner, drinks, delivery, the whole nine.
Great time. Food's great.
Right. You might see your ancestors on the wall. You see people in your likeness. Good place to call home. A sports. You know, you might come in there and they say, "Hey, Uncle Tug." I'm from Boston, so Cheers field is, what I would be open to. So what does this look like here? We have a collaboration of wonderful black men doing some huge things in our community. Why are we all together today?
We are together because we will be conducting a youth violence conflict resolution seminar on February 3rd at Jumbo's Sports Bar and Grill, located in Lakewood, Colorado. All right? On February 3rd at 11 o'clock a.m. Okay? We're trying to get our people together to stop all this violence that's going on in our community.
Cool. Why do you think it's important to have events like this?
Boy, events like this, it gives people hope. Hope is a good thing. If we ain't got that, we ain't really got too much. You know, so we have to keep fighting for something. And if we don't fight, then, we hit.
Kudos to business owners like yourself, Squizzy Taylor, things of that nature, where they own their locations for like night use or club use or entertainment use. However, they also open their locations for things like this, youth violence prevention, and toy giveaways and stuff like that, stuff to help impact our community, which I think is very, very noble of you guys too as well. Well, I guess is there any other things that you'd like to say towards the actual to the event, or just close out to our people while you have there?
I would like to say, everybody come out. All right, all the kids, everybody, family, come out. I mean, we're giving away school supplies. We're also doing some live skits. We're doing some skits there with the youth. So that'll be good to see. So everybody just come out, enjoy yourself. All right, February 3rd, all right, at Jumbo's Sports Bar and Grill at 11 a.m. Come out and support your people.
Jumbo, anything you want to say to the people?
Yeah, everybody come out. This is a nice time. It's plenty of room. We got a couple patios, and it's a real nice facility to come out and do it. Pretty much stop the violence.
Outside of February 3rd, what can people do? Can they come down there tonight? Can they?
Yeah, they come down.
Yeah, tell the people what. Tell them.
Come down, y'all come get something to eat tonight.
Right.
Come get some of these hot wings, some of this catfish or something. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Hey, listen, I appreciate you. I'm gonna talk to you too, Jumbo. The people, because my people need a promo code. Okay, we're gonna talk about that. Some love for my people for the R network, because what are we, Damo? We're not just for the people.
We are
We are the people, okay, at our network. So I want to thank you so much, Officer Don.
All right.
Soldier Elijah, Brother Jumbo.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your time, your space, joining my people, talking to my people, because y'all my people. Love y'all. See y'all next show. Peace.
Right. Peace.
Know who you are so you know you're not.